Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I got something nice for you today. Let's go. Rightism 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you too. Let's do what we do. Right Thinkers mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, that's what I'm on, is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with that? So let's get the party started. The question, do you know you? When I get done, you will. If you don't have an answer for that, it's rhetorical. But if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not, who knows not that they know not is foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. That's cool. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here too. Wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to Mayat be true. We moving on in the book, the goddess and goddesses, Shita and Netta, ancient Egyptian religion concepts. We dealing with now the mysteries of Anu. We doing the Anuian theology, and everything is based on Ra being the main god. So we're gonna talk about the mysteries of Anu, but we're gonna introduce you. I'm gonna break down Atum, Atum, or Tem, Tem. Then I'm gonna take you over to the Ra Trinity, and if I got a little time, I'm gonna wrap it up with Ra and the Trinity of Anu. So nice little lesson here. Hope I can get it all in. So I'm on the clock. Let's rock. This is the picture, the hieroglyph for Atum. Now I don't know what it look like to you. What that look like up here? Okay, that's what we're talking about. We're gonna deal with that right now. I'm trying to break it down for you to understand. Let's go. The sun and the moon were incorporated into the ancient Egyptian worship form from the most ancient times. It's always been involved. The moon is symbolically associated with Asar, Aset, and Tahuti, while the sun is symbolically associated with Ra, Ptah, and Amun, the three. According to the ancient Anuian, again, we're studying the Anuian creation story, and the supreme being took the form of the sun in the noon. Nothing going on, whole bunch of potential. When Ra decided he wanted to do something, he said, what? Let there be Ra, light. From that point on, time and space, it started in effect, so to speak. Or y'all call it the Big Bang. What happened? Night met light. Okay, moving on. That's the concept. So who we are. So the supreme being took the form of the sun, God, and what rose out of the primeval ocean. Now, according to the one version, Ra arose in his boat along with the Enai, the nine gods of the god and goddesses. According to the Minford story, the supreme being arose in the form of a primeval hill or a piece of solid land in the form of Atum, Tum, Tum, or Tem. Thus, the supreme being who manifests as the rising sun out of the primeval ocean is known by various names. Again, God will be known by various names. So these are, you ready? Atum, Tum, or Tim, Ra-Tim, Atum Ra, or Asar, and Ptah. Those are all the names from the Anuian supreme being names that they had for him. Now, Atum is also one of the first God symbols to what? Be depicted as a human, anthropomorphic form. The priesthood of Anu, what? Developed an elaborate cosmology incorporating the concept of Tim into the creation myth by doing what? So thereby merging human existence with the divine. It's always been God in us. The pyramid text, I know, of the Pepe II determined what? That the company of God and goddesses of Anu to be Tim or Ra-Tim, Shu, Tufnu, Geb, Nu, Asar, Aset, Set, and Nephet. In the prime pyramid text of Pepe II, you read the following in its account given by the emergence of Atum or Tim. He who was born in the new primeval waters, before time and space, before the sky into being, before the sky came into being, which is new, before the earth came into being, which is Geb, before the two supports came into being, Shu and Tufnut, before the quarrel took place, before the quarrel between Set and Haru, before that fear which arose in account of what? The eye of Haru. They know this. They see that, they know. Okay. Shu and Tufnut was represented by the two supporters. The quarrel between Haru and Set, that's what they was talking about. But one of the most important teachings of the Anuian theory is what? Is that if creation is in reality God, composed of God's body, and it will what? Revert back to its original what? Undifferentiated state one day. Yeah, the Hindus got a story. The Bhagavad Gita, it says when Krishna closes his eyes, the world begins. When he opened them up, world destroyed. So God right now is in a dream. We part of his dream. So he knows all why we're in his dream, so to speak. Same way you go to sleep at night, that's what the concept is. And what? This means that creation, as ordinary human beings, know it as the what? An illusion. It is not an abiding reality. This physical world is not the end all be all. It's temporal. So realizing that illusion, the Rasui, Rasui, it means dream or fancy illusion, meaning something that you think of. So therefore, the goal of spirituality, you ready, is to wake up, become conscious from what? The dream, and discover what? That which is real, aka funk, or better known P-funk, pure real. And that represents Mayat. And that's what's abiding. Mayat is real. The principle that she set forth, you can stand on. That's what God stands on. Duality and balance. That's what this represents. So that's a quick lesson. Hope you got the concept. Hope you understood it. Now I'm going to take you right on down here to the Ra Trinity. You see this picture right here? That's God. In the morning, scarab beetle, Kepri. High noon, Ra. Sun disk, Uraeus. At the end of the day, this is Tim, old age. Alpha, beginning, Omega, end. Life goes the same way. Bird, your baby, come out on 4. Man, you're walking on 2. Old age, you're going to need that third leg, that cane. Poppy uses his cane now. He's getting old. He's leaning over, back getting low, starting to push him over a little bit. That's what happens in old age. They know that. The guild is, or the deal is, get there and you experience it for yourself. Ra did. He said, okay, I'm enough of this. I'm out. Why? People start losing respect for another lesson, but that's the story. All right. In life, you're going to age. Move on. So from the left to right, the picture I just showed you, two forms of Khepri. In the morning, he's the sun creator. High noon, he's the sun sustainer of the day. Sunset, Tim, that's the dissolver of the day. It's over. We're going into rest stage. The idea of the primordial ocean called noon and the original primeval spirit which engendered life in it occurs in several world myths. Every culture has a creation story. Moving on, simple as that. Nobody was there, so all you can do is theorize it, hence theology or conceptualize it. Okay, but the earliest occurrence of the idea of the primeval water is found in what? The Egyptian religion, which predates all other known religions of the world in human history. That means we go further back. And this predates what? 10,000 BCE to 5,500 BCE. And the myth speaks of what? A god who was unborn, okay? Energy wasn't created, and undying, can't destroy it, and who was the original, who was the origin of all things. This deity was unnameable, unfathomable, transcendental, genderless, and without form. So we knew that way back then. Amun means the hidden one. Although encompassing all forms, this being was the God of light. Remember, we started in darkness. What's the first thing he exercised was the sun, Ra, light, which what? Which illumines all things. Even when he go down from this world in the underworld, he's still light. Okay, underworld don't like it. Why? Because he comes shine on there now. We in the darkness, so the underworld get the light, and we in the darkness. That's the concept. And while he there, he got things that he got to do to get out so he can come and shine on us the next day. Another lesson. But let's talk about this right quick. And what the light does, it illumines all things. Thus, it was associated with what? The sun, the form of Ra or Tim, and with Haru, there you go, who represents that which is what? Up there. You see me pointing? That's what I mean. Up there. Yeah. Falcons don't hang out down here. They come down here to do one thing: feed. They're birds of prey. Other than that, they're solitary birds. They do their own thing. When they want to eat, here they come. And the fish, they get you close to the surface, it could be a problem. Okay, they come down and grab the fish and go on about their business, eat them while they're even flying. But yeah, they are the ultimate prey, and that's your spirit is represented by that falcon, the peregrine falcon, which is up again up there. When the storm comes, all other birds go look for shelter. The falcon fly above the storm, hence up there. That's the concept. And you got the divine. Tem, Atum, Tem, or Temu is an ancient Egyptian name for what? The deep and boundless abyss waters of what? Consciousness from which the phenomenal universe was born. Consciousness. Khepri or Khepri, the dung beetle, he represents the morning sun, again, sunrise, creation, new creation, which is what? Becoming, creating. This form is also associated with what? The young Haru. Haru is the horizon, coming up. Also known as the Sphinx. Ra, the dot in the circle, represents what? The daytime sun. Kind of look like a nipple too, don't it? Another lesson. But with what? The sun sustains. That nipple sustains when you breastfeeding. That's what the kid look for. That nipple, that dot in the circle. Okay, it's the sustainer again. Nature is the bad mama jamma. And creation. But the term Tim comes from the root TM and to complete what? For fullness or Timim to what? Tim is regarded as the evening or the setting of the sun in where? The western sky. When you go to the west, you go to the west to die, okay? To rest for the rest of your days. If you don't make it to the west, you get reincarnated. Okay, that's the deal. You pass Mayat, Feather Mayat Judgment Day, you go on to the west. Live eternity with. That's what saw. That's where everybody reside. If you don't pass it, you ain't going there. You're gonna get reincarnated, and soul gotta go through another lifetime. Okay, that's the concept. But Western Sky, it symbolizes what? The completion, the end of what? Your life's journey. This physical life, it will end. But what's inside it and what's running it, depending if you use it, connect them, put them together, heart, mind, coherence, know thyself, you go to the West. The beautiful West, they call it. Watch this. And this is why you, the initiate, wishes what? To go to the beautiful West. Yeah, I study. Okay. Now, upon what? Your life's completion of the span of your life, the burial ground is what? Symbolically placed where? In the west of the city. Every city, the graveyard is on the west side. The beautiful west is what they call the abode of who? Asar and Ra. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you a picture again. When you saw that dot in the circle, can you see it? Okay, right there. We're gonna talk about that right quick and what it means and how it got its title, what it represents right quick. All right. It's called the sun disk. That's the symbol of Ra. The story related to the in the papyrus of the Nisa Amsu is that the primeval god laid an egg. This is somebody else's concept in the primeval chaotic waters. Again, chaos means a whole bunch of stuff going on, no order, no mayat. Chaotic is the opposite of mayat, unchaotic. I mean, mayat is unchaotic. Chaotic is unmayat. Okay, they go back and forth, but one represents the other. Now, the chaotic waters from which what? God, him or herself emerged. This primordial God, emerged out of the waters, emanated as what? Ra, with the sun, life engendering principle, and Het Haru, the female aspect, the dynamic life force, Tahuti, which is what? The word or creative medium, God's mind. God was the word. The word was with God. That's Tahuti. Tahuti is the word that God sends down to communicate with us. And you got Mayat, order. That the principles of cosmic, again, order and regularity, the company of God and goddesses, as well as human beings, and the phenomenal world. So these are all essentially emanations from that same primordial ocean, aka the noon, all comes from there. Another myth tells us how the creator masturbated and engendered life through what? And within himself by ejaculating in his own hand, they say, or the story I just showed you the picture the last lesson, a lesson or two ago, where he ejaculated in his own mouth. Just putting it out there. The papyrus, I showed you the picture of that. Okay, this is what that means for those who didn't see it. Okay, that's him seeding himself, planting his own seed. All right. Well, yeah. So, and the company guys, okay. Now, another myth tells how the creator masturbated. Okay. Now, in his own hand, then his mouth. The papyrus of Nisi Amsu further discuss what? The emergence. Explaining it right there. When Atum emerged from the noon, again, everything came from the noon, the primordial waters before the sky and earth were born, and before creation of worm or reptile had found no place to stand. Here we come into mound, the bin, I guess. Tomb, therefore, represents what? The first emerging thought, which what contemplated its own existence. He thought himself into existence in this vast ocean of undifferentiated consciousness, which was devoid of names and forms, and also devoid of what? Tangibleness, solidification, and coagulation, and grossness. So it had all different levels. but no name and no nothing being done. All possibilities, okay, potential. And all that exists was what? Subtle matter. Nothing concrete. The noon and the primeval ocean. The pyramid text, here you go, continue and explain how Atum continued the process of what? Creation. How? By emitting the other principles of creation in the forms of the god and goddesses as follows. Watch this. Atum, okay, I see the time, is he who came into being through himself. Okay? In Anu. He took his phallus in his grasp. Fellas, we know how that go. He might create joy in himself, emitting what? The twins, Shu, which represents air and dryness, space and ether, and counterpart Tefnut, which is moistness. Here's the picture of Atum. Okay. Before we had the dot in the circle, we gave him form. See him right there in his boat? Okay. Moving on. Break it down a little more. I'm gonna wrap it up because I see the clock. So I'm gonna stop right here. We deal with Ra, the Trinity, in the next lesson. But Atum in his solar boat, wearing the double crown, sitting within the sun disk. That's him inside the disk, inside himself. Okay, wearing his crown upper and lower Egypt by himself. In this manner, the various qualities of matter emanated from what? Tim, and gave form to the primeval ocean and continued to give and sustain its form at every moment, starting with Geb is the son of Shu and Tafnut. Represents what? The solid earth. Before Geb, everything was little, got the air, dry and moist air. That's real subtle, real light. You can't see it, can't taste it, it's not there. So Geb, which is solid earth, and then you had Nut, which is also the daughter of Shu and Tufnut. She represents the sky and the heavens, and is the mother of Asar, Aset, Set, and Netet in certain stories, as well as Haru That's Haru the Great. You have to master yourself while here on earth. I'm getting down here to the rest of the part. I'm wrapping it up now. In a creation story involving Capria, Ra in the aspect of the rising sun, the creation of what? A new day. He says he rose up from the new, and I found no place there where I could stand. I worked a charm upon my heart, mind, spring it into existence. I laid a foundation in M-A-A, and then I made every form. I was one, what? By myself. He don't have to say, no, God don't be no. He let you know it was me. Took the full responsibility. And since I, what? Had not yet emitted anybody from myself, the God Shu, and I had not spit out what? From myself, the goddess Tafnut. There were no other being who worked with me doing the creation. No hands in the pot, one cook. Okay. Now, from the perspective of this particular mystic teaching, Tim or Atum Ra, therefore, is what? The ultimate source and the cause of what? Creation, according to their stories, according to them. Now, from Tim, completeness, wholeness arises who? Kepri, who transforms what? Into Ra. And finally, Ra will what? Revert back to the original essence, aka Tim. That's the lesson for now. I see the clock. I don't want to take too much of your time. I hope you got the lesson. Hope it's making sense to you. I'll be back with the other part called Ra and the Trinity Anu. So, in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, and may 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. Enjoy. I'll be back.